Sophia Soto with the Nerds of Color. Huge congrats on the film, and thank you so much for taking the time today to speak to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Likewise.
Of course. And I want to ask you first off, the characters were all just so interesting to watch, and your performances were awesome. So I want to ask each of you, what sort of preparation did you do to kind of get in the mindset of these characters?
For me personally, I had to first of all think about how it would be if I was becoming a dad, obviously, and put myself in that mind frame. I had to think about the things of, in this time that we're going through, we're facing this turmoil. Should we even have this kid in this time? A lot of things were going through my mind, but I think the preparation really just stood at understanding the mission and the goal of this character. It's not to be the one that has to lead all the time, and not to be the one that has to say so or tell her what to do. It's like you have to be the one that's understanding. And so for me, I had to kind of just practice and go through the script and find those areas where it may look like he's supposed to be dominant, but no, we need to be very understanding here. So I think I just had to practice, just understanding the sacrifice and understanding the level of compassion.
And then I would say for me, I mean, similar to what Algee said about kind of getting into the mind frame of a parent and getting into the mind frame of a young mother, and just the physical aches and pains of what it feels like to be pregnant. What does it feel like to, how do you sit down? How do you stand up? What does it look like when you sleep? All those different things were questions that I asked a bunch of different people in my life that have children. And my mother, who's a nurse practitioner and had 5 of us. So I was like, what was it like? And birthing the baby, what does that sound like? What does that feel like? What is it closest to in terms of contractions? All those things were like anatomical questions that I really wanted to nail down. And then getting into the mindscape of the characters and the pressures that they're under.
For me, there's a moment in the film where my character Arthur mentions to Chloe's character Georgia a play, a Russian play that is the origin of the word robot, as we know it. So I read the play for research, and it was informative because how we think about robots and how we started thinking about them and where they're at now and understanding that and where we're going. I'm not a big tech person. I have a lot of tech in my life, but I don't understand a lot of it. So I try to wrap my mind around that and understand where the world they're living in. And he was such a fun character to dive into. He's so mysterious, and he's like this survivalist and a scientist that, living in the woods, and just to get to be creative with that. And Mattson and I, our director, we had a lot of conversations about what I would wear and how what the look would be. And he let me be creative and have a lot of fun with it. So that was really cool.
Now, I have to say, literally within the first 10, 15 minutes of the movie, you guys start and just don't stop with every bit of the action, the twist, everything. It's insane and it's so good. But what was it like for you guys reading the script and kind of seeing this full journey? What was your reaction? What were you most excited to kind of get to do with these characters? And what was that like?
I think the most exciting thing for me, well, first of all, when I read the script, I couldn't put it down. And so I think Mattson just did a really great job of drawing you in and keeping you there, which sounds like he did it for you as well. So I think that's what really kind of prepared me in a sense, was that I was just so excited to get to. First of all, I've never done a sci-fi. I've never done anything with androids taking over the world, and I understand how possible that is. So I think that was a part of the excitement as well, getting to see some of that played out, getting to be behind the scenes and watch some of this, the CGI work that has to be done and the extra work and that's got to be done in post, and seeing how this is done. So I was just excited to try something new, but also to tell the story of something very true, very emotional. And something that a lot of people outside of the androids taking over, but just with the pregnancy of the baby, young couples that a lot of people have gone through. So I was excited to tackle that material.
Definitely.
I would say, likewise with all of that and, really trying to figure out, I think one thing that Mattson and I really wanted from the beginning is is to play a kind of female character that wasn't this, consummate matriarch. She's not this, perfectly glowing pregnant woman that loves her pregnancy and is doing well and, can traipse across the mountains for 5 miles, but still look beautiful. We really wanted to, to feel that she's conflicted and she's confused and that she's dealing with a lot of, really, really, life-changing and life-altering decisions to make. And we're making them under, 30-second decisions and high pressure situations with the lack of sleep. So, really trying to tap into those emotions and the multifaceted kind of relationship element.
And I don't want to reveal too much, but they had been shooting for 3 weeks by the time I got to set, and it was exciting to jump into the world because I could feel the 3 weeks on both of you. Like, you felt like these feral creatures. Like, yeah, it was like, so it was really exciting to jump into the story because I felt like I was jumping into a world that was already alive and very vivid.
Raw.
Yeah, for sure. And just having Mattson there, I mean, he was, he wrote it, he's directing it, and it's deeply personal to him. So it just, to get, even despite all the PPE of it all and the COVID of it all, where we're all behind these plastic shields, you can feel his connection to the material, and that is a gift for any actor, I think.
Well, huge congrats again. Thank you so much, Chloe, Algee, Raúl. Congrats. Thank you.
Thank you,
And
Sophia.
stay safe. Have a great rest of your
Thank
day.
you, Sophia. Likewise.